You must understand that I come at this show from a fan's perspective. I grew up a fan of science fiction. I love the genre, both written and televised in the radio. And when I used to go to stores to look for a good science fiction novel to read, the first criteria would be, on the jacket somewhere it would say, Hugo Award winner, which said to me, a quality piece of work. It was a guarantee that the visions and ideas there were new to me and innovative.
There's this event called the World Science Fiction Convention, or Worldcon. 1952, they started giving out awards, the Science Fiction Achievement Award, and the convention has about 6,000 members each year. So each one of them is eligible to send in up to 5 nominations.
And was kind of musing, and he's saying, it's great that we just got to do the pilot, but if out of all of this, if we were somehow recognized by the World Academy of Science Fiction and got a Hugo, so that would be the apex. And I just kind of looked at him and go, yeah, that would be kind of cool. And we both kind of looked at each other and we just kind of went, nah.
The Dramatic Presentation Award is really centered on the writing of those awards, how well crafted, how well thought out, how complex the stories and the characters are. So it's very meaningful that something gets an award. It's really strongly the writing.
When we got our nomination for the Hugo with Coming of Shadows, that alone was a salutary thing. But to be honest, I really kind of wanted it a lot.
We beat Apollo 13, we beat Trek, this little old upstart TV show that, everybody said was never going to make it past season 1, had won a Hugo.
I think that for me, what made Coming of Shadows a stronger episode was that was the one where everything clicked. In television, it's a mixed bag. Sometimes the script is good and the actors aren't quite there, or the actors are great and the script sucks. But every once in a while, you find yourself in a position where the script works, the actors work, the story works. We had the arc elements there, the characters were all true to form, and everything about it was right. And I remember I saw a memo to the cast and crew after we finished shooting it saying, this is what the show should be. I'm big on the idea of personal courage, big on the idea of seizing the moment, because end of the day, moments are all we really have. And there's a point when the Emperor says, the past tempts us, the present confuses us, the future frightens. So often, we live lives of quiet desperation, living in inertia, living in paralysis of trying to change ourselves and our world and our lives. And progress only happens if you're willing to take those chances and step out on your own faith and your own life. And I've fought all my life to say, take responsibility and seize the moment as an individual. And that's what the Centauri Emperor was talking about there in that speech. And that, if there's any one section of the show that embodies most my personal belief system, it's in those 2 lines of dialogue.
Keep this up, Shakar, and soon you won't have...
On 5, Londo says he had a dream with Jakar and he strangling one another to death. And most people thought it would be some kind of a great, terrible conflict or other. Becoming Emperor, I think it must be just a dream. It can't be actually the real deal. You see a hand reaching out of the stars, which is Londo's ambition. You think, oh, great thing, I'm the Emperor in my dream, but he's troubled by it. Because on some level, however cellular, he knows that things come with a price. And to me, that was part of foreshadowing the entire series from that point onward.
Lo and behold, you flash forward another 12 months, and we get a second Hugo for Severed Dreams.
I was hoping we would get the nomination for Severed Dreams. You never know if that's going to happen or not. That one, like Coming of Shadows, was a huge episode where the story jumps forward in leaps and bounds, and we suddenly have the Earth War breaking out in earnest. I was happy just to get the nomination for that one. We were up against huge films. I figured the odds of winning against that kind of competition are nil. But I went to the Lone Star Convention in Texas for that one. And when the choice was announced, I just was flummoxed. I actually didn't stand up for a second. I thought, it must be a mistake. I must have misheard that. And a fan kicked me from behind saying, get up there. So I went up. There comes a point in all of our lives we have to make a stand at some point or other. And for Sheridan, the moment is crystallized in one shot. It's that moment you have when you realize I've been diagnosed with the disease, my sister's been killed, whatever it is, and the world closes in around you. And for him, his world has collapsed around him. And he has to make the hardest decision of his life. And that, to me, is the best part of drama, when a character has to go against everything he's ever been taught or believed to do what he believes now is correct. And for him to break off from the Earth Alliance at that point, to declare independence, is like breaking away from the United States or any larger government. And it means that if you fail, you're dead. As simple as that. The moment when Sheridan says to each of them, you have a vote, yes or no, do we stand or do we fight? Their decisions, one by one, I didn't want to be jingoistic. Everything they've experienced on the show to this point has led them to that decision finally. And it had to be real. If it was jingoistic, if it felt like, yeah, let's go get him, you wouldn't buy it. It had to be a moment when you hear in the dialogue the quiet turning of their considered conscience. And to me, that's what the show also is emblematic of. Not the glory of war, but the necessity of war from time to time.
You either get ratings or an audience or the project disappears. So to get commercial acceptance and then to get the recognition for the science fiction achievement by the Hugo people was something we're very proud of.
For every writer, the goal is to make something that endures. And to have won the Hugo says that we will now endure. That, look back at the history books for the Hugo Award ceremonies, and we'll be there. And it's a great certification from the fan community that we did it right, first and foremost.
For a TV series to win it all is unusual, especially since we've gone to a single episode. To win 2 years in a row is remarkable.
End of the day, people like Rod Serling are known for Twilight Zone. Gene Roddenberry is known for Star Trek. And when they plant me someday and they run the obituary in the Daily Variety, it will say creator of Babylon 5. And I will be fine with that, because that will be on the shelf for all of time.